Welcome to the ClearWell eDiscovery Platform Semantic Sales Expert Training. This course is intended for semantic salespeople and partners. Our solution integrates every aspect of a comprehensive eDiscovery workflow, including legal hold, identification and collection, processing and analysis, and review and production, into an intelligent solution, helping organizations cost-effectively respond to litigation, regulatory inquiries, and investigations. During this course, you will be presented with a customer-focused overview of the ClearWell eDiscovery platform, including a profile of the customer and business challenges that drive them to search for a solution, a mapping of business challenges to the target market and Semantic's product messaging, demonstrating how ClearWell eDiscovery platform's features drive selling opportunities, an outline of the competitive landscape, summarizing the competitors and how Semantic fits in this space, including why Semantic wins or loses among the competition, and use cases illustrating how an account team has successfully sold ClearWell eDiscovery platform to a customer. The Business Challenges topic describes the business challenges that this product would solve and identifies the compelling event or business triggers that drive a product's search. Organizations across every industry vertical are experiencing an explosion in the amount of data under their control. This data is not only growing exponentially, but diversifying into non-typical formats like the cloud and social media applications. This increased size and complexity is challenging organizations to not only manage this data, but cost-effectively access this data for eDiscovery purposes. When we speak of eDiscovery, we are referring to the process by which litigants find, i.e. discover, and produce documents stored in electronic form in response to litigation, corporate investigations, or regulatory inquiries. The cost of reviewing more and more data per case is continuing to increase, parallel with overall data growth. This is only compounded by an increase in sanctions related to faulty eDiscovery processes, often the product of a continually complex and ever-growing world of electronically stored information. These trends are leading to higher costs for organizations and subsequently challenging them to implement a less risky and cost-effective process for eDiscovery. But eDiscovery is not an easy task for an organization to perform. The organization is continuously challenged to respond to legal, regulatory, and investigative matters. These often require multiple departments to perform a series of complex processes associated with electronically stored information. An easy way to understand the complex eDiscovery processes organizations undertake is to review the Electronic Discovery Reference Model. As we move through the model, the goal is to quickly reduce the size of the data, referred to as culling out the irrelevant data. As legal teams and investigators get closer to the data they need, the cost of reviewing that data becomes more expensive. It can cost 1,600 times more to review a gigabyte of data than it does to store it. At a high level, these are the steps. Information management typically covers how organizations store and retain their data. Oftentimes, this step is associated with an archiving strategy, in Semantic's case with Enterprise Vault and/or records management solutions. The identification step is where you determine where the electronically stored information that might be needed in discovery is located and who owns it. After you identify the data, you need to ensure that electronically stored information is protected against destruction or alterations. During the preservation, legal hold step, you lock down data and notify the owners not to delete it. As the case moves forward, you gather electronically stored information from various sources during the collection phase. Processing refers to the process of taking that collected data and making it available to search, analyze, and review, essentially indexing the data. Once it is available, you begin analysis, the process of evaluating a collection of electronic discovery materials to determine relevant information, such as key topics of the case, important people, specific vocabulary and jargon, and important individual documents. This is also referred to as early case assessment. As attorneys and investigators go through the review and production phase, they evaluate the documents and tag the documents per their relevance to the particular litigation, regulatory, or investigative matter. In recent years, advanced machine learning technology called predictive coding has begun to be used to train a system to automatically predict which documents are relevant or privileged and supplement the review phase. Eventually, they may have to deliver electronically stored information to various recipients, such as the organization's outside counsel or regulating body. Customers are expressing their challenges as they deal with exponential data growth and complex e-discovery processes in various ways. Many customers are currently turning to service providers or expensive outside counsel to deal with increasing amounts of data, which can prove to be extremely costly. Some customers are using time-consuming manual tools or multiple disparate processes to address their e-discovery requirements, putting them at risk for missing critical case facts or deadlines. Ultimately, organizations are finding their need for e-discovery growing and changing across departments. So, what specifically makes a potential customer look for a solution to these problems? When speaking to your customer, listen for the following situations in which customers realize they have a problem and start to look for a solution. Electronically stored information cannot be properly or comprehensively collected and reviewed to respond to a legal, regulatory, or investigative matter. Court sanctions related to faulty e-discovery processes have been imposed on previous cases. Relying on an e-discovery service provider is too expensive. Without internal tools to remove irrelevant documents from the dataset, too much data is being sent to outside counsel for expensive review. The organization is being proactive about implementing a business process around managing and discovering electronically stored information. Disparate, cumbersome, or manual processes put the organization at risk not being able to respond accurately and within case timelines. The Key Buyers and Influencers topic lists the key buyers and influencers for this product, their obstacles to success, and relevant messaging. Listed on this page are the key buyers and influencers for ClearWell eDiscovery platform. There may be other individuals who are key influencers, and the roles and titles may vary with the organization. As you present any solution, focus on the key issues for each decision maker. Each of the stakeholders involved in the decision has their own reasons or motivations for choosing one solution over another. Discovery techniques and anticipated responses are covered in the Solution Overview lesson. The General Counsel or the Associate General Counsel will be focused on overall information risk management, the company's litigation profile, and dealing with that profile in light of typical budget constraints on legal teams. This buyer will also be concerned with minimizing cost and risk associated with e-discovery without increasing the internal legal team's workload. When speaking to the General Counsel or Associate General Counsel, emphasize ClearWell's place as the leader in the 2011 Gartner Magic Quadrant for e-discovery software, differentiated by unmatched reputation for customer satisfaction. Explain that the ClearWell eDiscovery platform supports all litigation, regulatory, and investigative needs from a single, easily deployed solution, so the General Counsel can immediately provide Semantic's eDiscovery solution to all departments. With ClearWell's unique analysis tools and early case assessment technology, the legal team will be able to achieve large cost reductions in their e-discovery efforts, taking advantage of the industry-leading return on investment that ClearWell provides, and helping bring e-discovery costs within legal budgets. The Chief Information Security Officer will be focused on consolidating information management e-discovery tools and processes and supporting the e-discovery needs of HR, legal, compliance, investigations, and so on. When speaking with this buyer, emphasize that the combination of Enterprise Vault and the ClearWell e-discovery platform offer the industry-leading solution for enterprise information governance, and specifically are the only archiving and e-discovery solutions in the marketplace completely integrated to reduce risk. Explain that ClearWell supports all litigation, regulatory, and investigative needs from a single, easily deployed solution. Oftentimes, information security teams are burdened to try and respond to time-sensitive requests from legal to collect potentially relevant data. Make sure to show how easy ClearWell e-discovery platform is to use, how it can rapidly identify and collect data, and how this can help the legal team to increase its independence from IT throughout the e-discovery process. The Director of Investigations and Forensics will be concerned primarily with performing collections for all legal, regulatory, and HR cases. This buyer often has too many cases to deal with and not enough resources to support the response. He or she may be using complicated tools to track data or forensically copy data for legal, ultimately making the process more difficult and costly. This buyer will be looking for a solution to simplify the e-discovery process and increase efficiency. When speaking to the Director of Investigations and Forensics, show the ClearWell e-discovery platform will meet all of their e-discovery needs with a single platform. Describe the intuitive data map and on-demand collections that are available with ClearWell, and will free the investigations team of the typical identification and collection burden. ClearWell's ability to target the collection to relevant data will vastly reduce the amount of data collected, and subsequently help reduce the legal team's workload. The direct integration with the Symantec Enterprise Vault archive ensures that archived data is preserved pursuant to legal and investigative matters, and makes collecting critical archive data seamless. ClearWell's intuitive interface could even enable the legal team to increase its independence from IT throughout the e-discovery process. The Director of Compliance or Audit will be anxious about responding to regulatory inquiries or investigative requests within critical time frames. What could be worse is missing key data for these requests because of incomplete preservation and collection efforts. Compliance and audit teams are concerned with the accuracy of the response based on analysis and searching efforts, or lack thereof. They can frequently disclose privileged information or miss critical facts. When speaking to the Director of Compliance or Audit, explain that ClearWell is a single platform that can be deployed in hours. It is a streamlined and iterative workflow that will help organizations meet strict regulatory deadlines by getting case data into the system quickly and reviewers access to the data quickly. ClearWell's advanced analytics, transparent searching, and discussion threads help identify critical data that could otherwise be hidden. Be sure to describe the complete audit trail that is created with ClearWell e-discovery platform that can ultimately help prove the reasonableness and defensibility of the e-discovery process to the investigative and regulatory bodies. The Litigation Support Manager will be working with multiple tools and vendors. Moving data between these tools and handing off data between parties can be risky, which makes the e-discovery process inefficient and time-consuming. This buyer will likely be under pressure to reduce the cost of using service providers and the cost of review by outside counsel, something that can be achieved by consolidating processes and bringing them in-house. When speaking to the Litigation Support Manager, explain that ClearWell e-discovery platform is a single platform that spans all phases in the electronic discovery reference model, including direct integration with archive solutions like Symantec Enterprise Vault. Explain that ClearWell provides early case assessment, transparent searching, and advanced filtering that can help them quickly cull out the irrelevant data, rapidly reduce the amount of data sent to outside counsel, and subsequently reduce costs. The Customer Alternatives topic discusses customer options to solve business challenges or improve the situation, and demonstrates how to recognize the customer impact of not solving these challenges. If not utilizing semantic e-discovery solutions, customers may choose a time-consuming manual process. They may also choose to outsource their e-discovery needs to service providers or outside counsel. Customers sometimes end up using multiple, disparate e-discovery tools, each of which will only provide functionality for one piece of the e-discovery process. The most common situation is for customers to use a combination of these options, for instance using a forensic tool to copy hard drives and sending the collected data to an e-discovery provider to process it and make it available, then taking that data and shipping it to their outside counsel to perform costly document-by-document review. If customers manually go through the e-discovery process, it can be extremely risky for a number of reasons. It is difficult to prove that a reasonable effort was made to preserve information relevant to a particular matter when legal hold is performed manually. Additionally, many organizations manually collect data, and it is easy to miss pertinent information as well as waste time and resources on this process. If legal departments perform manual document-by-document linear review, accuracy can quickly dwindle as attorneys review massive amounts of non-relevant data. Service providers take data from organizations and process it without providing any insight into what data exists in the set, incurring unreasonable costs for processing non-relevant data. By sending large amounts of collected case data to outside counsel without ever searching or reviewing it in-house for relevance, incurs unnecessary legal fees for outside counsel review on non-relevant data. Using multiple disparate e-discovery tools, each only providing functionality for one piece of the EDRM spectrum, is risky, costly, and inefficient. During this lesson, you have learned how to describe situations, problems, or challenges this product would solve. Identify the compelling event or business triggers that drive a product search. List the key buyers and influencers for this product, their obstacles to success, and relevant messaging. Discuss customer options to solve these challenges or improve the situation, and recognize the customer impact of not solving these challenges.